Liebe Freunde der Sonne, dear friends, I hope you have a great Wednesday morning, and I also have some time now, so I thought that while in my kitchen the lunch is getting ready in the oven, I will speak about the contents of my fourth podcast, which you may have seen in the Facebook page of mine. It was published a long time ago. So actually it was maybe, I don't know, sometime in end of September or beginning of October. So I translated it and would like you to understand basics about spiritual theory as I see it in this sunny Wednesday, where we have a great but cold weather here in Budapest. I hope you have a similar nice, we can call it late autumn, but it's getting late in November already. So let me first recap what happened in the third podcast of mine, where so I will speak about a little bit briefly about the third podcast of mine, which was the one where I started out with the unfortunate situation as I see it. So when I talk about things, it's always how I see it. So how I perceive my reality, and you can join to agree or disagree. Basically, it doesn't matter. I share it because I think it may help to learn your reality for yourself. And that's the only aim why I share about my life, about my ideas, about my background and my experiences. So in the third podcast, I spoke about the situation that I see in the world no positive vision for our children. I have 3 children currently, and this is they are in the ages in the perfect ages of early adulthood, between 17 and 21. So let's say. But I'm not only discussing about this age, I'm discussing about every age. So I think there is no positive vision for our children. I explained in the last podcast about the spiritual warfare. There is a spiritual war in the world, and people like me who we can call light workers are sharing content for everyone to accessible in the internet, which is the information how to live a life based on love. Because light workers, as me, have a certain belief that what is missing in today's world and what will be necessary in tomorrow's world is to be everything based on love. And of course, this is a lonesome mission nowadays for the light workers, because demonic thoughts and demonic forces in the spiritual realm are waging a war on people like me, like us. This is, I explained last time how you can differentiate, or how you can recognize this kind of warfare globally, on a global scale. How does it look like on a global scale? And you know, global is meaning also countrywide. just remember what I talked about the media and what is shown for us in programs, in movies, and things like that. So that's a global demonic force level. And there are industry levels like healthcare industry, energy industry, and other industries. So globally there are industries, and I talked about how these industries are infiltrated by mafia methods to silence individuals who find great new potential for good things for the small man, but not good things for the big money-hungry people and companies. And then there are company-level demonic forces, like a leader of a company. In Hungarian we say, the fish stinks from the head. So that's a good saying, because as I experienced, in each company, the mindset of the small entity or large entity, what we ever call it, is always reflecting the mindset of the people on top, because they are doing the selection, they are maintaining their stuff in their philosophy of light or dark. There is no good or bad. It's just both have different outcomes, and different outcomes for the small man, for the individuals working there, which you can realize if you think about it. And then there I discussed also about demonic forces in the family. So in a big family with cousins and many let's say relatives, you can experience demonic forces. Of course, in that area, always some family members who have the authority, they can provide for demonic thoughts if they speak about someone behind their back. And I talked lastly, but not leastly, about the couple level, so a pair, wife and husband, boyfriend, girlfriend. If we have a couple, there is, if they are spiritually married, so meaning they had sex at least once, then they are committed couple, spiritually married, and then in this case there is potential for spiritual warfare. And how does it look like? And what do I mean by this? I have mentioned. So now you are aware about my idea. What is the reason for not having a positive vision for our children? Is because in most of the households, we have spiritual warfare at a parent level. And you can imagine what kind of atmosphere is this for the kids in a household, and what kind of atmosphere is it in a family, in a company, in industry, and globally. That is the current situation. However, my opinion is that no one is to be blamed, because basically each people you meet who is doing bad things in your mind is basically living in bad environmental conditions. So the conditions nowadays, globally, country level, locally, company, family, and couple, is bad. The environment is bad because the information is poor, which we can access and which we are taught. We are not taught important information, and that's why I tell you what I know. For example, today in this podcast about spiritual theory, that you can understand the theory behind spirituality. For the next podcast, to explain practical implications of spirituality, which if they are missing from your life, then you are handicapped in seeing the truth regarding to yourself. So, of course, last time I talked about my ideas, how to implement necessary reforms to governmental codes, because the labor code, the environmental code, any code, the medical code, let's say the code relating to schools, the media code, every code needs to have certain things implemented, in my opinion, in order to have a new world which is better for our children. So, let's start today. So, spiritual theory is the first topic. I have two topics. Basically, spiritual theory and basically some information about practical spirituality as well, because you know, I think when I talk about spiritual theory, it's important right now to also explain how this is connected to you personally. Because if you do not have currently a partnership with a girl or boyfriend or a wife or a husband, then you maybe are in yourself, enjoying life, and this is a, let's say, safe space for you at home, maybe with your dogs and cats, to understand the reality. But if you are in a couple relationship, then you are always handicapped, because you are inside, probably, in a spiritual warfare where the overview, eagle eye overview on your life is not really possible, because your both auras are intertwined. You do not have the possibility to have a distance view on yourself currently. And that's why maybe it's important right now. So after I discuss spiritual theory, I will discuss about also the first practical use of the spiritual theory, which is inside the partnerships. So what is a spiritual space? So let's say basic functioning of spiritual space, because we know 3D, this is 3D, I'm a 3D object, this nice bag is a 3D object, and this is 3D, of course. What is 4D? What is 5D? 5 dimensions. What is the now? What is the mind, our consciousness? What is magic? What is magic? It's a kind of magic, magic, magic. Everybody sings it, but maybe we have a different understanding of it in real life, how it relates to our reality. So, you know, all dimensions occur simultaneously in the present. So when we discuss about the now, right now, when I'm speaking, this is for me now, everything. Every dimension, all the other dimensions about me, where I selected differently maybe, or all the previous lives, or everything, so the spiritual dimensions where we cannot see, but there is an archangel, there is God, there are many entities of light and many entities of dark, maybe my past loved ones who passed away, the spirits of them. So these dimensions, these are all occurring simultaneously in the present. So if I pray, if I ask, I can reach them, because they are in the present, always with us. Only the now exists. So basically, the past does not exist, the future does not exist, only now exists. So everything happens simultaneously. That's why, also some side note, time does not exist. Time is a construct. Time is just there to be, if you focus on time, you will get disturbed. You will get bad mood. you will get lower vibration. If you await something to happen now because I need it, it's a bad feeling. If you think about vibration, you work on your vibration, your happiness. Vibration is happiness. So basically, if you work on your vibration, then all good things which you desire will come to you, will reach you, and you will have the possibility to select your path towards them. If you work on your vibration, only vibration matters. Your vibration defines all the things which are allowed to your life. So if you have a low vibration, bad mood, then you will get all things which describe this kind of bad mood, and you are compatible with them because your thoughts are revolving about bad mood, bad habits, you know. So let's say all dimensions which happen are in the now, and if the mind, the consciousness, has a higher vibration, at high vibrations you can perceive also the other dimensions. Perceive. So if you work on your consciousness, you can perceive that there is a communication between other higher dimensions. That's the, let's say, the mind, how your mind, the consciousness, your mind level, is connected to the now, which is the simultaneous dimensions, okay? So basically, you know, this consciousness development, how the development of consciousness is to be understood. This is not my theory. This is not, let's say, my fabric. I read it because, you know, there is a Ken Wilber, who is a very renowned philosopher of nowadays. He had decades of work to incorporate all the belief systems and all the systems of Earth into one integral theory of his. And I regard this as the, let's say, today's most established theory about the universe, about everything, you know. And I was lucky to find out that there is a small book which is written on kitchen language, understood also by mechanical engineers and all people who are interested, without philosophical background. And this little book describes from the beginning until end his decades of work in understandable manner. So I read this book, and basically in this book one portion is discussing about the levels of consciousness. So I sometimes in this podcast refer to his work, Ken Wilber's work, and I will show you now these graphs which he prepared, which I use. So I will upload them also. I try to upload them to the place where I store this podcast then, so you can refer. But basically, if not, you can access his book. So basically, you know, this book is called in English A Brief History of Everything, and it's written by Ken Wilber. And now I try to show you on my laptop that basically he has, I will use from my book, you know, I have the page 164 is having this ladder, this mind ladder, and with the ladder, let's say, levels and descriptions. But there are other levels of consciousness, let's say, information of his in the internet, which you can find on the cognitive line. Okay, this is a comparison with other philosophers and levels of consciousness. So you see, there is a, let's say, very much elaborated and widely discussed, and many people refer to this integral theory in their teachings about, let's say, consciousness or mind subjects. So that's why I also use this. And so basically the progress of the development path is according to these levels of consciousness, basically through the imagination. Okay, so through the imagination we can progress our levels of the mind. So on Ken Wilber's speech, this is F3 level, imagining mind or safety. So for example, a child before schooling in the kindergarten, the child in the kindergarten has a basic necessity of safety, okay, for his safety, and he has an imaginative mind, an imaging mind. Okay, so basically through imagination and self-realizing our own magical power, let's say, of the imagination, yeah, the intent, imagination. So my imagination is my intent. My intent is the magic. This is the magic wand. Magic wand, okay? I have a magic wand. Each one of us has a magic wand. There is an intent. This is magic. And if man realizes their own magic, their own magical power through imagination, that is, let's say, the development path of the consciousness. So unfortunately, so for millennia, so for many thousand years, let's say the teaching about magic has not been in the forefront, let's say, in the forefront of societies. So although this is essential for individual success, so each teacher, each guru, each government who is really honest about empowering individuals to be successful in life, they will care for teaching this kind of content. So unfortunately, in nowadays, adults and childs, there is mental programming which is which we reflect in pressure to conform. An individual feels a pressure to conform. Parents feel a pressure to conform, to fit the current educational system, to fit the current social surrounding, you know, in terms of moral, social, legal, family, every terms. So this results, let's say, this results that the child cannot grow up continuing and discovering, self-realizing their own magical power. But our child, let's say, will wander, as I also did, and my parents also did. So this is going for millennia. So we are wandering through artificial intermediary mental levels. So these levels of consciousness are not really required, but we go there and we are stuck there. So which ones are these levels? This is the role mind, which is about a feeling of belonging to others. I need to belong to others. I need to belong to groups to feel safe, okay? Because if I don't belong to groups, I'm not safe. This is nonsense, but this is a role mind which is taught in schools and at homes, okay? And this is also the formal reflective mind, which is a self-esteem mind. So once I belong to groups, I develop self-esteem, okay, self-esteem, and the formal reflective, let's say, consciousness will go together with this, and these are intermediary, let's say, mental levels, which are not really helping, because they are giving the opportunity to get stuck for an entire life in let's say, in not developing further, and everything which is not developing will decline. So each individual on individual level who is not taking action once he is not developing on a flat line, then he will decline. That's automatic. Then issues will happen, and mental health, anything. Okay, so basically the mental programming present in ourselves is prohibiting to raise our child and raise ourselves to higher consciousness currently. Just to understand for you about spirituality in this context. So what 3D is the world which you see, okay? 4D, 5D is not the world which you see, it's the world which you imagine and then are connected with it, and that you realize that it's there. But how does it look like from 5D to 3D? I would share a little example which explains the similarity. So if I would now take a little, let's say, two-dimensional model table. So this is now my model table, okay, the two-dimensional model table. And let's say this model table, you can see there are some animals living on it and plants, and they are living their life on a two-dimensional plane, okay? Now, from the 3D, I can influence this table. I can observe this table. So basically this is similar, because I can influence and observe them without their recognizing me in the 3D plane. They cannot understand the 3D plane. They are just on a 2D plane, okay? So that's the similarity, because those of us, let's say you and me, who are spiritually trained, let's say these are people who made levels of consciousness into the vision logic autonomous F6 level of Ken Wilber's categories, okay? So those people who have vision logic and are autonomous in their consciousness, they are those who are, let's say, I would call it, they are living in a 4D world, because basically they are not living in the 3D, they are observing the 3D and are seeing that this is not good for them, and they are selecting to live not in the 3D, they are already observing the 3D around them, so they are kind of in the 4D. So these are spiritually trained individuals. You can reach this without having a spiritual training in life, if you are lucky, and you do your inner work. Inner work is the key. So let's say these people who are having vision logic and are autonomous, they are able that they manifest through gratitude to the creators or angels, ancestors, okay, inspired in spirit, to move in spirit. So if they are inspired to move in spirit on the path of love, okay, you can walk on the path of the shadow, like doing sacrifices to demons. That's also a possibility for the universe, for you. You can select what you do. But if you are in the path of love, then you will do, let's say, gratitude towards the Creator and angels, and nothing more than gratitude. And you will manifest in your life all the things which belong to you and which you desire, okay? That is, so let's say, so those who are continuously elevating their vibration levels are the ones who will, let's say, who can interpret the 5D earth in love, everyone living in love, is not just an imagination. It's possible, and those who are living this, they are living already in their individual heaven on earth. Okay, heaven on earth, and this condition of consciousness, this level of consciousness, enables that a partner will gravitate into one's life, who finds us as a twin flame, called twin flame, a soulmate, who is on the same vibrational conscious level, and then we can develop further. Okay, so the heaven on earth is basically meaning find your own heaven on earth individually, and then live in that consciousness each moment, each day, and select your path towards your partner who is on the same consciousness level. And you can differentiate her or him because he's also selecting to live not in the 3D karmic cycle world, which is here, and you can live in it if you want, until you want. If it will be here tomorrow, I don't know where our world goes. I can see that it changes. So I believe that the future is for those who select to live in love, in higher consciousness, and would like to manifest their heaven on earth, okay? I would like to manifest for myself heaven on earth. So basically, these things are the spiritual realm and the material realm. Okay, vertical spiritual realm, horizontal material realm. This is the, let's say, how they refer to it. And how can you differentiate a twin flame? Okay, because you can discuss soulmates and twin flames and, oh, I have met this partner, I have very good feeling with this partner. Okay, twin flames are recognized because in the instant you met them, you have the feeling you know them already, because you have past life memories which your body knows. Your mind does not know, but your body knows, and you have an unexplainable feeling contacting them. Okay, that's your twin flame. And if you live with your twin flame, let's say, it feels like you belong together, because it's like, for me, she is me in a woman form. Okay, we have same interests, we have same beliefs, so we are very easily on connecting on all three partnership areas. Okay, because there are many partnership areas. Partnerships can work only on one, so you can live with a partner where you have only one area which you have common. That's possible, but you will never experience the true depth of love and partnerships if you do not have at least these three, let's say, areas in partnership. So with the twin flame, your relation, let's say, your relationship is so strong that you have alignment between you in all three areas: sexuality, animal instinct, okay, sexuality, intellectual connection, and spiritual connection. Okay, spiritual meaning also emotional balance and emotional interaction and emotional discussions about our own. Okay, so let's say in this kind of connection with the twin flame, together they can grow in consciousness. Okay, so they can grow, help each other, not helping by aiding, but by supporting each other. So they can support each other and then enter higher levels of consciousness. Okay, what are these higher levels? If you look at the book of Ken Wilber, you can see the F7, F8, F9 levels, which are the occult, subtle, and causal or self-transcending mind. So self-transcending mind, meaning that the consciousness is aware that I'm not myself, I'm not the ego. I have transcended the thoughts about me as an ego being. So me as a blood, flesh being. I have transcended this. This is a transcending mind. I'm aware that I'm an energetic being, living forever, started forever and living forever. And I select to experience certain lives, to have fun, basically, and experience myself, okay? Experience myself in different conditions. So this is a self-transcending mind, okay? So basically, yeah, that was the operational scheme of spirituality in theory. What about how to connect with your spiritual beings to get their help is about prayer. So prayer, if you do not have nothing, if you are in the desert and you have no land, no material, only yourself, you have everything which you need, okay? Because a prayer is not requiring to cite any long text, any book context, nothing. It's just a prayer has three mandatory sections to be able to work. You have to acknowledge what you have. Acknowledge. So I know I have everything which I need. I can breathe. I woke up to this beautiful day, and that's all I need, okay? I acknowledge what I have. I appreciate what I have. I appreciate. Thank you. Thank you, Creator, that I could wake up this morning and I can breathe. And that's the second, to appreciate what I have, not wanting more. Why can't I have this motorbike in the desert? No, it's acknowledging, appreciating what I have. And the third thing is awaiting with great attitude what's coming next. What will I find behind the next sand dune or whatever is coming next on my walk in the desert, okay? Awaiting. And these three things is important for a prayer. And then you can, if you're stuck in life, if you are stuck in your life, use this triple formula, these prayers, and let's say this is, if you do this will establish in your mind, in your consciousness, the current state of gratitude. And gratitude is a very high vibration. It's not a low vibration. Gratitude is a high vibration. So if you enter gratitude with high potential, you will solve your issues in life. So if you have issues, enter gratitude. And it's not a big time. You do not need an altar. You do not need anything. This nice altar which I have here is not necessary for having a prayer. Okay? So, I forgot my nice mug. So let me bring my mug. Because sometimes you need to drink, because hydration levels are influencing many things in electrical beings like we are. So in order to our body to function correctly, in order that our body functions correctly, you have to care for your hydration levels. So if you have not cared for your hydration levels so far, then you are in the in the condition, let's say, where I was, I don't know, 13 years ago, 14 years ago, where I worked in the office as a department head, and I had, headaches during the day. And I remember I had not drunk water since morning. So sometimes your body, the color of your pee, your headache, if you pinch your arm like this, you can see from the receding, let's say, skin, how quickly recedes, whether you are hydrated or not. So if the skin stays pinched, then you are not hydrated enough, so you need to drink more. That's the simplest way of looking at your hydration level, okay? So, the second topic about spiritual theory, and this is the also an important topic, is what are the laws? What are the laws of the universe? Okay, and the universe was founded long way back, and let's say 30,000 years ago and many more years ago, there were people living, like one very famous people who is called Thoth, or Hermes Trismegistus. He has lived many lives on earth, and in Egyptian areas he was called like this, in other areas like that. But he has written emerald tablets, and based on these emerald tablets, I will list for you the laws of the universe, because if you understand these laws, these are 12 laws, okay? If you understand these laws in your life, then it's easier to differentiate between useful information and not useful information, because useful information will fall in line with these laws, because that's how the universe works, okay? So, first law, the law of divine oneness. What is divine oneness? Divine oneness is meaning that everything is the same. Just it's manifested in different ways. So this mug looks like a brass or steel mug, is the same as everything, okay? It's the same, it's just manifested in different way. It's harder, it's hollow, and so on. And let's say God, the creator, universe, however you call it, based on your belief system, is one, is the same. So basically, let's say ourselves, boys and girls, men, we are living with a mind which is having a masculine and a feminine side. So due to our conditioning, we are usually not living in oneness. And basically, this is oneness. So oneness is, if I live in oneness, I have the feeling of connection to everything around me, everything, all the universe, all the people, because I'm aware that we are of the same fabric, okay? It's just manifested in different ways, and let's say demons tremble at the sight of this oneness, because demons cannot, cannot fuck with someone or something which is in the consciousness of oneness, because you cannot, let's say, disturb, or you cannot make an illusion with someone who is knowing that this is an illusion, okay? So when they mention in some text that demons tremble at the mention of Jesus' name, no, they do not tremble on the mention of Jesus' name. So if you find a demonic being, don't tell them Jesus, 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 and wait that they go away. They will not go away. They tremble at the sight of oneness, because first law, everything is the same. There is divine oneness. What is the second law? The law of vibration. So the law of vibration says that everything vibrates. So that's connected with oneness, because this mug vibrates. I vibrate, everything vibrates. The vibration is just so low on this 3D plane that it is like solid, like it would not vibrate, but we know particles in it vibrate, and everything is frequency and vibration. So the second law of the universe is everything vibrates, and that's the reason why everything can be the same on different manifestations, because it's just a different vibration level or scheme, okay? The third law is the law of correspondence. It corresponds. So as above, so below. So meaning above is, the spiritual. As is the spiritual world, so is the world in the 3D, or the world in me. As within, so without. There is correspondence. If in my mind, my consciousness, I have positive, negative influences, then I will see in my surroundings these items. I will not see the other ones, which I could see if I had a different internal mindset. So, as within, so without. So, your external reality is a direct consequence of your internal thoughts, okay? So basically, also your spiritual helpers in the spiritual realm are connected to your internal world of thoughts and emotions. So basically, there is a direct consequence. This is the third law. The fourth law is the law of attraction. Like attracts like. So high vibration attracts high vibration. Low vibration attracts low vibration. Okay? The fifth law is inspired action. When you are in harmony with who you truly are, inspiration will find you. Inspired action. So you have to be in harmony with the one who you truly are, and then inspiration will find you, okay? The sixth law is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy, which means everything fluctuates and grows continuously. It grows and fluctuates. Life on earth grows and fluctuates, grows and fluctuates. Everything fluctuates and grows continuously. That's the perpetual transmutation of energy. Therefore, if anything is not evolving, if it's not evolving, if you have the feeling that your life is stuck, okay, then change it. Then you have to do something, react or act, because something is wrong. Something is wrong. You have to do something. The seventh law is the law of cause and effect. Thought, magic, is the cause. Reality is the effect. What you think will affect your reality, because your speech, your actions are based on what you think of the things surrounding you. Cause and effect. The eighth law is the compensation or karma. Everyone knows karma. Oh, my karma. What you sow, you reap. What you give, you receive. What you deny others will be denied to you. That's karma. Karma is not suffering lifelong because of past issues. That's not karma. Karma is action, which is compensating what you do. So if you are worried about your life and are sitting on your bottom, thinking that, oh, that's my karma, because of my past, so I have to endure it, then you are not spiritually trained and do not know that no. If you do not change it, it will never change. So what you sow, you reap, and if you do positive things to others, positive things will come to you, okay? And if you deny things from others, things will be denied from you. So you have to be, let's say, intelligently selecting, consciously, what you do in each moment. Köszönöm, igen, ügyes vagy. Maradj, jó? Maradj. So, the ninth law is that, igen, ügyes vagy. The ninth law is that everything is relative. That's a very good law because it means just we all perceive the world as we chose to. So you choose in this moment how you perceive the world. And in the next moment, you can choose differently. And you know, that's why everything is relative. So if something disturbs you, then think about what you are choosing to think of the world. Okay? Because how you perceive the world, yeah, that's an individual perception of yourself. The 10th law is the law of polarity. Polarity, everything has an opposite, polarities. So that just means that countless realities exist, countless. You can argue with someone about reality, but it's mindless because countless exist and they ought to exist. You know, each one can select their reality because everything has an opposite. And usually you experience that I myself fall into opposites. If I'm very extreme, like, oh, I love somebody so much, I can fall into the opposite and hate them so much in the next second when I'm not aware of my internal things, okay? So the 11th law is law of rhythm. Everything has its own nature and season individually and collectively, okay? Everything has its own nature and season. And in the Bible, you can read, for example, God told you that you should use the sun and the moon and the stars as signs and for seasons. So, someone who is living without this law of rhythm, consideration of the moon cycles, of daily cycles, and especially yearly cycles, star constellations, which will aid something or will disturb something, days when you have to go inside, days where you have to fast, not eat. So if you do not consider these kind of things in the life, then let's say you will worry. You will worry and fear because you will be astonished about some results of yours. Okay? So if you use these things as signs for seasons, you do not need to fear and worry. You can flow like water. You can flow each day like water, going with the current of your life. That's the law of rhythm. And the last law is the law of gender. Okay, gender. Life is only in harmony when your masculine and feminine identities come together. This is the oneness. Yeah? To exist in only one means you are only, if you exist only as in your masculine, so in a fight or flight mode, right? Yeah? At home with your partner, if you have stress or if you have to discuss something, you are not using your feminine and masculine consciousnesses, let's say, based on your decision, just by your habit, only use one, then you are half existing. You are only half mind, your consciousness is only half existing, and the rule, the law of gender says nothing that is only half existing can reach completion. So completion can only be reached if your masculine and feminine identities come together and you are living an authentic life. Okay? So that's why we have to work on our consciousness and raise consciousness, and that we can reach completion, or we can live a life half complete with sufferings, fear, and worries. Okay, that's the other possibility. Nobody tells us how we should live our life. Okay, so basically, I will. The last item I will talk about is the first topic of practical spirituality, which is the main topic of my next Vodcast. But I selected relationships. What about relationships, partnerships? A relationship is always a challenge, okay? Everyone knows that. Relationship is a challenge. Should I go into it or not? But the level of challenge varies significantly. Not every challenge is worth it and is worth for your own dignity, okay? So, it is a natural phenomenon that in a partnership, one couple, the man, the woman, one of them is, let's say, rushes ahead. So they are on the same level maybe. And then one rushes ahead in consciousness, in mind, in spirituality, rushes ahead in the mind development stage. In this partnership, in the A case, the first case, this partner who is rushing ahead are conscious and selecting to sustain the other, to wait, to be patient with the other while walking their own path. They are patient. They can be patient. They feel that this is a mutual good partnership, and they are patient. Okay, patient. That's patiency. And this way, if the partner is patient, the man or the woman is patient, then the other half can recognize themselves that they need to work, and they will work to be on the same level, okay, of consciousness. This means we have rare frictions, rare meaning not every week, not every day, rare frictions, and we can discuss each friction. Each friction is a lesson, maybe for both, usually for both. I had a relationship, we lived 60 months together, and let's say 14 months were, in this sense, we had 10, 15 frictions and stressful situations during these 14 months, and each one of them could be discussed, not instantly, maybe next day or the day after, but we both were present and selected in a calm manner the discussion, okay? So this case is a good, challenging case, and it requires the conscious, let's say, conscience sustaining presence of the party who has rushed ahead, because always one partner will rush ahead, always. They do not, usually it's not like this, they always one party will rush ahead. That's no bad thing if you have the sustaining, okay? But what about if there is no sustaining? That's the case B, the second option, where, let's say, typically today, in each partnership, the partner which is left behind is, let's say, is experiencing, because of the dynamic, it's not his fault or her fault, but he is experiencing envy, maybe unspoken envy, because the other partner is maybe feeling like treating her second grade, okay, like somebody who needs help. And that feeling will result in unspoken envy. And in this case, if there is no sustainment from the party who is let's say, rushing ahead, then the other one who is left behind will attack, spiritually attack. It is dark magic, gossip, distraction, disrespect. Yeah, disrespect. And disrespect is an attack. This is a partnership which is spiritual warfaring at home, every day, okay? And everyday burdens are present in the partnership. And this is not good. This needs to be quitted. So let's say any of these partners need to be aware that this is not good and they need to quit. Because this partnership cannot grow. It will just hold each other back. Every day we will push the consciousness down to the survival mode, fears and worries. And that's not a good partnership, okay? So should such a relationship be saved or left behind? I would say, if you had transparently communicated your feelings and your expectations, and you have waited sufficient time to pass to give the opportunity to change. So let's say, for example, in 3 months, you have 3 occasions where you discussed in a calm manner your feelings and your expectations. So your partner had time to change, but he had not. He had selected not to change. Then I think you should quit, because it's his decision and he should be autonomous to make the decision. This decision cannot be made by force. Never, in my experience. So let's say, since he already made his decision, let's say he is constantly, the partner who is left behind is constantly draining the energy of the partner due to his inner or her inner discontent. So he decides for himself, herself, that every day he can decide to continue giving supportive devotion to the partner or not, okay? And the couple has no influence. The couple has no influence on us. The couple can only recognize, he is draining me. He is bringing me down. If I dance, he is saying, you don't look nice, don't dance. Or if I sing, he says, you disturb me, I need to rest, you know? If a partner brings me all day long, every day, with some situations down, then he is, in my life, he's an energy vampire. I would have energy and he's vampiring it, because it makes him feel better, and he makes him or her feel better, and it's let's say it's a dynamic which we live. There is no, he's no bad guy or bad girl. We're living a dynamic which needs to be quitted because he has decided not to give supportive devotion, okay? So there can be many reasons in the past because he is unable to give this. So for example, his personal past, his family systems, his ancestral heritage from his past, you cannot know and you cannot change it. So it's his decision to want to change it, and if he doesn't want, leave, quit this relationship. Okay, because if you remain, you will be ruined in the energy draining environment at home every day, because you will live alongside each other. You can look at many people, they are living alongside each other, nothing doing anything together. One of them is doing the gardening in the garden, the other is doing the house cleaning in the house, and they do not meet just by lunchtime or drinking a coffee or discussing about the weather, okay? So you can see many people, this is a good enough life. You have to select it consciously. If it is good enough for you, then don't complain about it, okay? Also to yourself, not your girl and boyfriends. So yeah, basically that was the first practical spirituality topic, and I hope you are eager to hear the other ones, because in the next podcast, which I will translate soon, I will speak about practical spirituality to really empower you in your life to make the changes. Each day is a new day. Each day is a present of God to you. And what you do with the day is your present to God. So basically, use your day efficiently. Have a nice day. Cheers and goodbye. Ciao.